You're listening to Haze Radio Network, Cannabis Lifestyle Radio. Yeah, you know what time it is.
It's time to get high.
2.0 Haze Radio Spotlight. We always got some interesting things going on, but it is dope to get some final episodes in before we change location, and that's going to be a surprise for everybody when we talk about that, but we're going to leave that on the secret for a minute. But I'm going to enjoy my last episodes that we have here and always go out with a bang. And I was like super stoked today. All of a sudden, like, I thought I was excited to do today's thing. And then all of a sudden there was like this added bonus thing that happened. And one of my favorite weeds came popping out, which I was crazy because I was talking about earlier today. I got my guys from Kush Rush, and we got Uncle Kush and 4 with me today. What's up, guys? How
What's
you
up?
doing?
What's up?
Let's get it,
Nice,
baby.
nice to see you guys. So, question first of all, born and raised in Cali, or where
Yeah,
you guys?
born and raised in the Bay.
Okay.
You know, East Bay to be specific, Pittsburgh, California.
What about you, 4? Same.
Born and raised in Los Angeles. From the Bay to LA.
In LA,
Yes, sir.
Southern Cali. Shout out to Southern Cali.
Big shout out to
We got both my Cali boys here who've been, interested in the weed industry and weed itself, I'm assuming, for a very long time.
Yeah, man, I just 14 was my first experience with it, and kind of fell in love with the plants. And stuff.
Okay, so 2014,
No,
or 14 years old.
14 years old.
right,
Unfortunately,
so-
I was at an
so-
underage. I wouldn't recommend that.
Okay, so we're going way back, Jay.
Yeah, I won't recommend that. Yes.
And you're 14 years old.
And
what was that experience like?
Well, the experience was I got some clones from
know.
a friend, and I tried to grow that shit in my dad's yard
Okay.
until my dad found them and beat
So
the shit out of me.
before you ever smoked weed, you wanted to grow it
Well,
without even trying it.
No.
Or tell me your first experience.
So
Do you
my
remember
first-
the first time you ever got high?
For sure. I mean,
Tell me.
the first time I ever got high, real high, because I smoked some Mexican shit that didn't really get me high. I smoked some indoor, some real Uncle Bob cat piss, 1993.
Shout out to the
94.
cat piss. That is actually one of my favorite strains.
I don't know if they have it out right now. I don't know if it's out.
Shout out to our boy. She's
Not KP.
Hello, KP.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. You know, I love KP. I love KP.
Shout out to
That's his
KP.
strand. That's his strand of cat piss.
When he has the good version of it, it's unbelievable.
But it's still not the. For me, I'm sorry. I love KP. That's my brother. He has his strand of cat piss. But for us, like, I was with the Jack. We're the ones that had that shit. Like, we really had it from the grower.
Sure.
In the East Bay,
But
California.
let's be honest, though. If you actually had it in a closet and you had like a quarter pound or a half pound of it, and you cracked it open, and then walked into the closet, it has that cat piss smell.
So this is the thing.
If it would, not everyone he does is good. Like
So
that.
this is the thing that's like probably one of the
One have had his best.
the
for us.
misconceptions I feel like of it was that it smelled like cat piss beforehand. It felt like cat piss on the exhale. So as soon as you exhale that shit,
Sure.
it smelled like fucking a cat
Sure.
just urinated in the car.
Sure.
But it did have
sure.
that skunky smell to it, that hazy skunky smell to it in the beginning.
Surprisingly, like I said, it was emitting
That's right.
without even smoking in a terpene flavored way.
Different back in the day, man. This is like 90s,
sure.
bro. We're talking about.
Oh, of course.
You know what I'm saying? Fucking 2000s, 90s.
90s.
A lot of these kids that are these hype boys is not even born yet. They weren't even
Was this the late 90s or the early 90s?
90s.
like mid 90s to late 90s.
Remember the Romulan?
I loved Romulan. There's so many strands that I wish
Because now I'm trying to go back 90s style.
Bro, I tried to get Romulan in my grow. My grower was like laughing at me and would not grow it for me. I was so mad. I felt like so undefeated. Like I felt like so defeated.
You holding out on me, bro, or what?
Like, oh, my bad, bro.
Romulan was the second strain I ever smoked.
Stop, really?
Ever. The first was Durban Poison.
Oh. Very interesting bud to be your very first bud because it has a very interesting high. And Durban is usually high sativa, right?
It gets you wiry.
I do not remember, but this was 2003, my first experience. Durban Poison was great. I fell asleep, probably threw up a little bit.
What flavor is this? So we like shout out for its
this one right here
basis.
is God's gift crossed with cereal milk exclusively at Kush Rush.
Now the cereal milk, another favorite of mine.
Yeah. I mean, you got a lot of that same taste buds,
especially
honestly.
the CBX one. Have you tried Cannabiotics one?
Very good.
Delicious.
What it is, it's an old school Afghani.
Very good.
A weak version of the Afghani. You remember the Afghan goo?
You know, if I can go on a time machine.
If we're going 90s, because we were starting early,
yeah.
Hawaiian came out back then. Remember when the Hawaiian just came out in the 90s?
That was some good ass orange weed.
Not a big, yes.
That was some orange ass
not
fucking
a big grower,
weed.
but the smell so pungent.
It was so orange.
So pungent. Blue Dream came out around
Okay,
that
so
time
Blue
there.
Dream, I got history with Blue Dream because I'm from the place where they started it at. You feel me? So like
Really?
Blue Dream, yeah, you know, Blue Dream was Santa Cruz, San Jose.
So would you say,
It changed too.
yes, when it first came out though, very first came out, did you not feel
Indica.
like you smelt black licorice in the air? Like really strong?
All I remember about it, I can't
That was
remember
the
how.
one thing that like it reminded
I can't
me.
remember the smell as much anymore because it's so long ago. I can't really like remember it.
Sure.
But all I remember, it used to knock me on my ass that it was a real indica.
My
And then-
favorite back then of all times though, Skunk Number 5.
Oh my god,
The
that's
SK5.
Oh my god,
Do you remember that one?
that was some OG. Some
I do
funky ass
not.
OG. That's some
That's a new
funky
one
ass
to me.
OG. It was some funky
The
ass
Skunk
OG.
Number 5.
You know, people started.
That's
people
what they
started to
changed.
name
So they
names.
called the Green Crack afterwards.
Yeah. Well, Green Crack was another big hit.
Another big skunk.
I would
blend.
say Green Crack and Blue Dream were on the same level. Like, at least in my city, they both made a really big wave.
Yeah. Way before the Kush wave.
I feel like Blue Dream is the
Kush
biggest
wave
seller
came out
ever.
in the 2000s. But when we talk about the 90s, the only Kush that came out was Hindu Kush.
I remember getting a gram for about $10.
Remember the Calio?
Calio.
When the Calio came out first. You see, you remember that one.
Yeah, that one's good.
I bet you if you looked up the most sold weed ever in history, would have to be Blue Dream.
You think so? I
It
mean,
has to be.
that was very popular.
It has to be Blue Dream, because it won year after year when like it was like I stopped even hearing about it in my area. And it kept on getting like number one strand. Somebody got to check that out. What's the number one all-time selling strand?
For Southern California, it was OG Kush. I remember they named it after
strong.
everyone's mother. Disneyland OG.
Or SF.
Miley Cyrus
remember
Kush
OG.
Rush, Uncle Kush is right here, baby. You know, it's my
remember
favorite.
when the SFV OG came out? That was the dominator. For
That's one of the godfathers of
a
OG
long
for sure.
time.
So-
a long time.
Did you try my Motor Breath or no?
I didn't try that one yet.
So the Motor Breath is crossed with SFV and Chem Dog, and I'm trying to bring that green weed back, and it's going to come back. Watch, it's going to come back, and it's going to come back harder than ever because when people smoke it, they actually remember getting high again because all that candy shit has been getting watered down. Like, there's some great Skittles out there still. I still fuck with Skittles. I still fuck with some original Runs cuts, some 41 cuts.
How about I'm going to throw in one at you. Grape Ape.
Jesus, I never
remember
liked
that
that
one?
one. It was never got me high.
Really?
It never got me high.
Really?
It never got me high.
Wow.
It was very flavorful. It almost reminded me of like
Wow.
Purple Punch.
I have to agree, it did not get me high either.
Do you remember Williams Wonder?
No, never heard
I'm
of
pulling
it.
out an old school one right there.
Williams Wonder.
See,
What about
there was,
Shishka Berry?
I mean, for
That
me,
one's good.
No, I never heard of that one either. It's some LA shit, probably.
That was a
From LA?
Afghani
Is that
cross
LA?
with a blueberry.
That's like LA, like more like LA area.
That was when that actually came out. That was DJ Short.
Okay, I fuck with DJ Short Berries. That was a shit.
It was a blueberry cross with Afghani.
Oh, that's the shit. That blueberry, anything that touched the blueberry usually was rocking. Whoever had that was amazed.
I think DJ Short was the most famous geneticist of
that was a big one.
blueberry crosses.
That was
for
the
sure.
best. That was probably the best. Like
I agree.
that was fire for sure.
But you
fuck with that.
hold true to Kush, and that's what
You know what's funny was
gave you the Kush Rush.
So let me explain something to you. When I first started my company, we were a delivery company, and Kush was my favorite strand out there. You know, there's cookies out there already.
Sure.
But Kush was the only thing. That was like, that's the power.
And it's a very popular pseudonym for weed. If you're just trying to
so I said
like,
Kush and then Rush to rush it to the customers.
Kush the butt. So originally, it was the love of that specific strain.
Exactly.
And that specific strain popular to California where you grew up and lived, of course. You know what I'm saying? So you're being true to the old school OG-ness, right?
Yep.
And then the Rush really came in.
Delivery.
Because of delivery. Yeah, we want to get it to you quick, right? So, it was such a simple term, but actually so great sounding.
Yeah, it came. It was we did very, very well during the.
And what year did you start the delivery?
2016.
Okay, so 2016, right?
Yep.
Rocking your 7th year.
Yep.
Right.
So we did
of development. Let's say
of development. Right? Yeah, we stopped
because the exotics didn't actually. First, you're delivering people's nuggies.
Yep.
And other shit, but
we had King Cookie, we had Space Monkey, we had all the other brands.
Okay, yeah.
You know, not our own brand. We were like representing other ones.
Space Queen. Do you remember that, bud?
Oh yeah, for sure. That was fire.
That was very tasty, right?
That was dumb fire.
Excellent, tasty one.
That was I haven't seen that one but like a couple times.
Really?
That wasn't like a popular wasn't out there like that. But when I tasted it, it was always amazing.
Fire flavor. Sweet, delicious.
I know you don't smoke tree. You're about to spark up.
Do you remember Jack? Let's go really back, but Jack Herrera. Shout out to the man. His original version of Jack, not the Sensi Seed one.
So what happened? What happened to Jack? That when I first smoked Jack, I fucking loved it. It was like the best thing for me ever.
It was skunk crossed with like 2 other strains.
It was like, oh my God, bro, I couldn't get enough of it. And then all of a fucking sudden.
It was a hybrid, not a sativa.
And then all of a sudden it just like.
Changed.
All of a sudden it was like, bro, when I smoked it, I felt like I had anxiety. Like all of a sudden out of nowhere.
Because it was a sativa. You know what it is? You remember Trainwreck?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Trainwreck has a super distinctive, what I call sativa smell.
Yeah.
And when I smell that same smell of Trainwreck in other buds, I know it's got that kind of high sativa, you know? And when Sensi Seeds put out Jack stuff later on and years later, everybody now says the Jack is what actually if Jack was here would be like, nah, motherfucker. The one you have is what I let Sensi Seeds do. But that wasn't my Jack.
Yeah. The first Jack
was first Jack was skunk crossed with 2 other strains. I don't remember what it was.
It definitely wasn't a fucking...
No.
It definitely was not a sativa.
It was lemon pepper. It was thick, big, fucking...
It was gassy, too.
Disgusting, gassy nugs that you could...
It was lemon, gassy nugs.
Yes,
lemon. It was lemon, gassy nugs.
Absolute. Pepper almost. Lemon.
Yeah, lemon and a little pepper taste to a little pepper back
and
bite.
Giant nugs.
Yeah.
Giant nugs.
You didn't have any of that?
So this whole time you're telling me we've been smoking the fake Jack
in a sense.
And sours, too.
Yeah.
Sours, too.
Sour.
People smoking fake sours.
They don't know the real NYC sour.
They don't know the real deal indica sour.
And that bud has little nubby buds.
I love smoking with like somebody who's like my age.
And when you see it, you know, oh shit, that's the real NYC. Because if it looks like a normal nug, it's not the real diesel.
Yeah.
That's the truth. It almost got to look like a Frankenstein, weird little nubby buds that
like little popping out of it. Like,
popping out right there.
It looks like what they used to call those. What do they call them? Tails?
Yeah, whatever fucking looks like.
Tails or whatever they used to call them.
I know exactly what you're saying.
Foxtailing. It used to be foxtailing the shit out of it, but that shit used to be gas. So back in the day, it was like probably 01. I used to get weed from like New York. You used to get it in a little glass jars. I don't know, like little glass jars, 2 grams, $50. That's what it was back then, and it was gas. It was fire.
Such a great taste.
It was fire.
And I know that, like, over the years, this whole gas transition and trying to say how something has a fuel-like smell, I never, even though NYC diesel, it meant a different type of diesel, not like a gas diesel. It's true meant was like, it's like a diesel truck. When that hits you, it's going to fucking hit you.
Yeah, that's really what it meant different.
You know, and it's
not a gas, it's nose. It's not like the same thing as an OG nose.
No.
It's different.
No.
It's more like it's more like a skunky.
Lemon.
Yes, lemon skunk. Kind of like a lemon skunk to it. Like, man, I miss like those old ones. That's why I'm trying to bring it back right now. Like, honestly, it's like my goal this coming up year is to bring green weed back. Like, I still have the candies because I started, honestly, I had the runts cut from the beginning. Like, we were growing that shit from the beginning. We never called it runts for the respect of the company because that was our company name.
Sure.
So we never called it like runts, right?
Yeah,
it's
of
like,
course.
It's like us cutting the podcast calling it Haze, you know what I'm saying? Or like whatever, it just makes sense, right? Like, it's the fucked up, we're friends, right?
Yeah.
So they give us the cut or whatever else like that. We grew it so well, they used to buy it from us, you know what I mean? But I called it Dum Dums, and it's so
like the lollipop.
Yeah, like the lollipop. And we probably did the best numbers on that shit for years. I'm talking about from 2018, like we were doing great on it, like crazy. And it got to a point where it was like, everybody started liking candies. Everybody started getting candies for so cheap and this and that.
Yeah.
Like, our pack prices were at $5,500. Like, COVID prices. Like, we were getting the high. Like, that's what we were getting.
Wow.
$5,500 a pack. We had the box with everything that came with it. The baggies, that.
So you're getting Zach Woodsy with it.
Zach Woods got it for me.
No, really?
What are you talking about, bro? I'm the one that started that shit, bro. I'm the one that started that shit,
that's
bro.
Funny. That's great.
So Zach Woods, that's my brother, bro. But he loves talking about he's the first of a lot of things. Until I come around. I'm like the OG. You know what I'm saying? I kind of put shit in place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, no disrespect to Zach Woods. I love him. But you know what I mean? When he met me, brother, he was putting stickers on backwood bags.
Yeah,
he came to my office. He seen how shit was running at a different pace. Like, I got 20 employees. All kinds of shit going on. I like. I like giving people game.
It's crazy. I got to give him props because because of hype, paying $10,000 or whatever he would get for those boxes originally, like,
the
it's
first one was mine.
Ridiculous.
One of them was mine.
It's fucking ridiculous.
The guy came to my booth at the show. He sold my fucking box that I sold to him for 4 or 5 G's. He sold that motherfucker for 10 G's.
Yeah.
The dude came to my spot. Hey, bro, I spent 10 G's on your thing. Blah, 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 blah. That shit was fire. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, Jesus Christ,
and
bro.
And he get it left and right. And I'm thinking to myself, you are the smoothest motherfucker that has ever walked.
He's a great talker. He's a great talker. He's a VJ. Like, he's a VJ when it comes down to it. Like, he's really like a great spokesperson, loud guy, whatever else like that. I love, his movement that he's done, everything else like that. But I'm a real dude. Like, I'm not a fake motherfucker. Like, like, I can't, like, if I say I roll with you, I roll with you.
Yeah.
Like, for real. Like, you call me up at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., whatever else, I'll get up, bro. I'll get up in the car and go, and don't tell my lady what I'm going to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the kind of guy like I am for my friends and shit like that. And I feel like sometimes that type of stuff wasn't repetitive back to me. So to me, I'm like old school, bro. Like, I've been through a lot in my life.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Like, a lot of things happen in my life. We don't want to go over anything negative because that's old. Because that's all old shit and negative things.
And I like
don't take the energy of today's energy.
I like the piece that you made with the Kush. Your jewelry piece.
I appreciate that,
that's
bro.
That's fucking dope. Like,
I try to make it the best piece in America. I try to I said like I wanted to make it the best piece out there. You know what I'm saying?
And what makes you choose flavors over other ones? Let's talk about the vape line, which I was extremely impressed with. Why don't we go over some of the flavors that you have brought today?
So so we have 20 flavors that we basically already did R&D on. Basically all of the hottest or old strands, pretty much, like, the hot strands, from Tangy to Rainbow Sherbet to, GDP to OG to, there's a lot of different strands that we did. London Pound Cake, Envy, which was our cut of 41 was Envy. Less was a cut of our Mochi that we had. You know what I mean? So we kept with the strand names that we've been known for a long time when people recognize the flavors and everything else, because we've been doing it for so long. But it was very, very important for me to have like natural, like live resin in the pen, like no like other things inside of it.
Hot dog water.
No hot dog water. Like it's very important for me.
So explain to me what that I lost the what is hot dog? What does that mean?
Hot dog water means like it's just garbage inside the pen. Like it's just like
sure.
It's just like all the biomass that they just throw in there
like
and just
the vape cake.
Distillate.
The vape cake stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty much all the shit that you see on the streets.
Yeah.
That's for $20 for 2 grams type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
So
they
what you're
poison
saying
yourself.
is what you're putting in is just fresh.
Fresh, frozen, live resin, and to me it was.
And for the layman,
Yeah.
for those that don't really, they keep hearing rosin, resin,
Yeah.
live
Let's explain it
this,
to 'em.
live that. Explain it.
So live resin basically is a different way of extracting the THC and the terpenes off of the flower. Live resin means that the plant is still alive. So basically, as soon as the plant is being chopped down, they're nitrous freezing it. They're freezing it in bags, and they're getting it ready to do it multiple different ways. Okay, there's rosin and there's resin. Live resin is a certain way they use. They call it BHO to take off, the matter off of the plant and just come up with the terpenes and the THC and all the cannabinoids and everything else like that. Now, and on hash, the hash rosin is what they just use water to take it off of there to do it that way. I wanted to do a hash rosin pen, and it was very hard. It was very upsetting to me because I couldn't do it. Like I really, 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 really wanted to do it.
Is it something in the technology
It's
or
just-
how
it's
it
just
burns?
not-
It just doesn't.
It's just
come
not
out
there
right.
yet. They all taste the same to me. So I feel like I'm a connoisseur of
Let's
it.
talk of the ones that you did select.
So the one
what
so let's
flavors
go
do you
back.
have?
So
Yeah.
I went to live. The reason why I was saying I didn't go to live rosin because they all tasted the same. The live resin, I was able to like magnify all the flavors on it.
Okay.
So all the flavors that you get like on those pens that you're smoking in the stores and everything else like that, well, you're gonna be able to get like great like natural stuff without the nicotine, with real THC in there, with all the right cannabinoids in there, and that's gonna get you high. It's not gonna be just a flavorful,
So
experience.
why don't you hand me over one of them for
Yeah.
a little
Wanna go ahead and grab one from
on
me?
the fly sampling? You have that Tangy one?
Yes, sir. Let's get you the Tangy.
That's one I'm gonna try.
You try that one for me.
Yeah, bring me the Tangy.
I don't know if
So I myself have always been, when I think it was it the Cali O was the very first
pretty good. There was some
first
good pens.
orange that kind of came out. Or was it?
No, it was a guy from up north. It was a guy from up north. He was an orange cookie kind of guy.
And then the orange first came out.
It was like an orange cookie.
And then
guy.
when the Tangy hit, there was a craze of the Tangy because
yeah,
people were like,
the forbidden fruit, the tangy,
"Oh,
like all that
that's
shit.
a great one."
Yeah, the forbidden fruit went like crazy for a while.
It wasn't as like potent, but the taste was so delicious.
It's the best tasting.
To
right?
me,
Yeah, it was
right?
like-
Forbidden fruit was like my Skittles.
Okay,
yeah. So
okay.
Skittles get you higher at least a little bit. Like it still doesn't get me as high as
I
the
agree
OG.
with that, Rush, because I would have to smoke at least an ounce and a half of flour of forbidden fruit just to feel anything.
Yeah, that was my $100 ounce back in the day.
So just like essentially Kush Rush, meaning the bud part, you then did Vape Rush.
yes, sir. I just
So just to go along, to continue on with the theme.
continue on with the
I
theme,
like
the legacy of what we
I
were
like
doing.
the packaging.
Yeah.
You guys can't see this closer right now, but it actually is really nice.
Yeah.
And, there's a lot of pens out in the market, especially a lot of throwaways in the market that you see. And you chose a, technology, very nice size, not really like the pen, different kind of style.
And take off the sticker off the bottom there. Should be a little sticker on the bottom there.
What's that little sticker for, Rush?
So it's just to protect
It's just to
them.
protect. And the best part is you essentially use this, you can't refill it, which is great. It's perfect for on the go, concert, this, whatever, roll around, indiscreet. And a lot of times it's what we talked about, distillate, and they'll add other terpenes and different things, and there almost is like a fakeness to it. But what you guys have done is from the live resin, just because of how good your process is, which obviously you're not going to explain, What's good
it took a long time to do.
This is disposable, but you can recharge it.
Yep.
Because the ones that can't recharge, and that's a new thing. They didn't have that before. Now that they're having that, it's very genius because then you make sure at least it's enough electricity to
you have a nice pull.
Yeah, always have a pull.
Yeah, have good pulls to it.
Comes down to
so
size.
Just like a cigar, pretty much. If you do more like a cigar hit towards it, it usually hit better.
Wow.
But it's always going to be great tasting. It's always going to get you high. It's like,
very nice, smooth orange flavor. Wow.
Yeah, so I really, really
like the original Tangy.
Yeah, it's what I want. It's what it's supposed to be. My whole thing is this, like, I came back from Florida for one reason and one reason only. There's to curate my brand. Or curate Kush Rush, curate Mush Rush. Like, that's why I came back over here for. I'm working every day, hard, every day to make sure I get the best product. So like that's what I want to hear. And
now the mush. Let's get into the Kush, the vape. Now the mush, the mush.
Yeah. The mush for me was the biggest thing. Is I'm a big psychedelics person myself,
and that is becoming in a lot of states in the United States. It's becoming almost as equally accessible.
It's more legal a lot of times than weed. Honestly,
less taboo.
It's less like it's actually a little some places.
I don't know. It's weird. I don't know about
some places. Some places
it depends on what where you're looking.
Yeah, some places is less.
But microdosing is a gigantic thing now these days, and it doesn't make you essentially trip. It's just giving you a small dose component to give during the day to help relax the body.
I call it awareness.
Like you said, awareness.
So we all have fungi in us. We're all made from fungus, first of all. If you didn't know that.
Okay.
We're all made out of fungus. Have you ever had any vegetables that tasted meaty?
Yeah, of course.
Which one? Mushrooms.
Of course, mushrooms one of them. I enjoy. As
mushrooms are the only one that taste meaty.
As a kid, I didn't like broccoli,
meaty,
cauliflower. No,
not meaty.
You don't think so?
Not meaty. Not meaty.
Interesting.
Not meaty. Like you really feel
sure
like you're tasting meat, like really meat. I could see where you're getting at with the cauliflower. I could see where you're getting at.
Yeah.
But like a real meat taste, like a red meat taste to it. Like, you know what I mean? And like, you saute the mushrooms or whatever, the saute satake mushrooms and all this other stuff.
For sure,
shiitake mushroom, all that other stuff. Like it really tastes like meat. And so you think of it, it's us.
Sort of.
We're made out of fungi. We're made out of fungi. So like when you take these small doses of fungi, what's happening is it's like you're replenishing stuff that your brain needs.
Sure.
You don't need to go.
Sure.
You don't need to go shaman mode every time where you're trying to like figure out your past or whatever the hell that's going on with you, whatever. But hold on. My bad, bro. Sometimes that happens.
I got you.
But yeah, you don't need to go shaman mode and all this other shit. You could take a couple pieces and actually function for the day. You can literally drive. You can literally work. You can literally do everything that you would normally do, better than any, how do you say it? Like any kind of prescription drugs that they would give you, a Zoloft or this or that or all this other bullshit that they're pushing on the pharmacy or whatever else like that.
And let's talk about a little bit since Four's heating up the oil action.
I love that part.
Let's talk about the oil that you guys brought. The flavor very gassy.
We're like, I'm into everything cannabis. So when it comes to anything you think of cannabis, I'm into it. From edibles to flowers to extracts to pre-rolls. We have like 10 different types of pre-rolls. Not 10 flavors, 10 different types of pre-rolls from. Monster Woods, which comes with like 3.5, an eighth, and 1 gram of extracts inside of there. Was made for an NFL player. You know what I mean? That actually took off on us. And then we have like cannons, which are basically hash and just flour in there and stuff like that. So we have a lot of different stuff with that. But hash is very important to us. As we have a great hash, guy that we work with. Legal, obviously, facility where we get all indoor single source.
Now you gotta have Hash Rush.
Yeah, so what to do? We actually fucked around and changed it up a little bit. We call it hashish.
Hashish. I
Yeah,
love it.
so we just did it a
You
little
remember
bit.
that, right? The
Yeah.
Oh,
beginning
hash
of it.
and then sheesh.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
So we're like hash.
With Nash. S.
Sheesh. Yeah, so like, you know what I mean? So we just did a little different. So the hash and sheesh. So it's like we did that with even our
Very
pre-rolls.
nice. Very nice smell.
Yeah, so honest to God, I promise, like, if you get the real Kush Rush, the problem was this, is that our branding was so great that it was in every corner store in America. So, you know what I mean? So, like, every liquor store had a Kush Rush bag.
Okay.
So you would get anything in a Kush Rush bag. You can get anything you wanted in a Kush Rush bag. You get what I'm saying? So it was very, like, that's what kind of hurt us the most, was that there was so much fake shit out there of our stuff. Like, every store in the East Coast had Kush Rush bags. They had bags that we didn't even make up.
Wow.
Like taking our logo and making some new fucking shit up and stuff like that.
Wow. And how did you handle that? Or was it something that you were able to handle?
It's very hard to. It's very hard to handle that. You try to take it as a compliment, but really it's an annoyance.
It is an annoyance.
It's an annoyance. It's not a compliment. People try to say it's a compliment.
In Southern California and LA, we say it's you made it if you get bootlegged.
Oh,
yeah. But what it is you're stealing. You're stealing from us, and you're ruining our brand integrity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course.
Like when you smoked all our shit today. You smoked our Mac 1, when you smoked that with the triple scope gelato.
Yeah,
when you smoked all that stuff, what would you consider it to be?
Yeah, it was very enjoyable.
It was top grade.
I didn't want to have it ruined by someone that's a fake thing and get like deceived. That would suck.
Yeah, exactly. It makes people like you're expecting that type of that type of experience that you've been accustomed to. You go to another state and somebody's giving you some
a fake thing,
and it hurt us a little bit.
And let's clarify, so those who would know, that for the most part, if you didn't get it in Cali, there's a good possibility
that's not necessarily true. The point of it is that if they're connected to me,
sure.
If they're connected to me, if you see them with me, if I shout them out, if I shout them out, stuff like that, that's how you're gonna know it's the real deal.
And they can approach you through Instagram to be like, "What's up? Do you think that this thing is bullshit or not?"
So
right?
I think that's the big.
How do you?
That's been the biggest, I think, accomplishment of me, is that I've been accessible to anybody.
And let's tell our,
like meaning like every DM, every DM.
Get it out to my stoners.
It's Al Sophia is my personal one. It's been on there since forever.
Spell it for my stoners.
ALSA F as in Frank IEH. So that's my personal page right there. That's my personal page. If you have any questions, you ask me a question, I'm always going to answer, no matter what it is.
And what's the official Kush Rush one?
So unfortunately, like, there's like probably 100
lot of banning or weird shit.
There's 100 fake Kush Rush pages. So I wouldn't really trust much Kush Rush pages out there. There's one out there that's ours.
Sure.
That's ours. It's KRE _ Bay Area _ California. So it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Like, we've been banned so many times. We had 200,000 followers. We had a lot of different things, and we always thank God we're very in abundance of success in this business, and we just want to continue with it, and we want to like bring great product vape pens to the people that are new in the business. Like, people that come to the recreational shops. What are they looking for? They're looking for vape pens, pre-rolls. And we want to give them the top.
Yeah.
We want to give them the top. That's my goal, to give them the best that they're ever going to experience, so they'll never want to go anywhere else.
And then for any shout outs, friends, family, anybody you want to say what up to?
Mama, I made it. I love you.
I love it.
Honestly, shout out to all positive and good people on this earth that want to make a change, You don't have to always be confrontational. You could just do the slightest thing by like wake up, do your bed, and be positive,
And then they have, very tasty line of microdose, or could take a higher dosed amount of mushroom gummy.
The gummies, the chocolate bars, we got everything, and it's all making sure that it's dosed correctly. It's tastes delicious. no gelatin, vegan when it comes down to our gummies.
And you felt that was important.
Oh, of course, I want it to be something that I want to enjoy myself. You know, so like everything I do, it's for me. You know what I mean? I'm like kind of spoiled. It's like I'm making it for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like all my pre-rolls, everything that I'm doing is for me. So why skimp out? Why like be a cheapskate for myself? So that's why I don't do that to my customers. So my customers are enjoying the top of what somebody like me can get.
Throw out just for, as we're starting to wrap up, what are some of those wonderful strains that you selected that are part of the Kush Rush brand, essentially? What flavors you flown with, babe? Tell us.
I mean, I really want Mac 1, I was the first one to bring it up north. You know, I was the first one bringing it up there. I had it up there before Kingston charged $100 in San Francisco for it.
Wow.
So I had it before him up there. I was really known for that. We have the triple scoop gelato, which now Cookies is trying to carry after we had it from 2017. So we have a lot of stuff that we like created and did.
Okay.
The Dum Dums was the Runts cut, so it was nothing. It wasn't like nothing
Lollipop
special.
action.
Yeah, it was nothing. It was nothing like special, but it did crazy numbers.
Sure.
But the biggest thing for us was always been our extracts because it was priced always like really, really great pricing on it, and it really, really took off. And our flowers have never, like, we've never had really any complaints about any of our stuff. Like, if you look out there and our Yelps, or not Yelps, but even our weed maps or this or that, we're always ranked really, 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 really high.
That's great.
And it was because we really care about our customers, our customer service. We're not catering to rappers. We're not catering to celebrities. We're catering to customers. You know, we're catering to people. You know what I mean? So we're not catering to the one percenters. We're catering to everybody else.
And what shout outs do you want to give out to any homies or friends out there?
Man, shout out to, everybody. Shout out to everybody working in our staff. Shout out to my girl, Kayla, my lady. Shout out to Diana. Shout out to Limon. Shout out to my sister, Amy, going through cancer right now. I hope you heal well.
Yeah.
I love you. Shout out to all my nieces, everybody who works for me. Shout out to Felix, the best roller out there.
Oh, shit. The best roller out there.
Yeah, best roller. You've been smoking shit. You smoked the shit. It smoked perfect, right? Smoked perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Smoked perfect.
Nice and delicious.
Who are you trying to shout out to?
Just my parents, man.
Parents.
They're my heroes. Nobody else.
You know what? Rest in peace to my parents. Rest in peace to my parents. If you have your parents, make sure to go hang out with them, man. Do that for me.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. Kush Rush, Mush Rush, Vape Rush. We got all kinds of rushes going down here.
We're rushing at you, baby.
And we're going to go continue the rush.
In the house.
Thank you so much, guys. Talk to you soon.
Out here, baby.
You're listening to Haze Radio Network, Cannabis Lifestyle Radio.